What's your worst Tinder experience that led you to stop using it? Showed up and turned out he was a cop. Okay, cool. Had stickers and bracelets and all sorts of Blue Lives Matter merch. Cringe, but alright. Got to the party we were going to, and it turned out he had told his friends we were meeting that we had been dating for 4 months. This was the first date. On the way home, he decided he wanted to impress me, so at 2 AM in a dark parking lot he pulled his loaded gun and started flashing it around, displaying the mechanisms, offering to shoot it, etc. That was the first time in my life I had the realization that my life was truly in another person's hands. This man I had never met before and had only interacted with on Tinder was holding loaded gun next to me in an isolated spot in the middle of the night. When I made it home I deleted the app and never went on again. So aside of the typical Tinder game getting old, the last straw was I met up with this cute charismatic guy, had a nice night, hooked up, then planned to hang out again. He ghosted, tried to hit me up a month later and then his wife contacted me. Turns out, he has a wife and a kid. I had a scary experience when I was hooking up with this guy and he started to spank me hard. When I asked him to stop he would just act like he didn't hear me. I realized how far away from my home I was and how much stronger than me he was and how he obviously did not care whatsoever about my well-being or consent. So I just closed my eyes and let him finish. I don't know how he didn't notice me crying. When I left he asked if I wanted to see him again and I said I'd think about it. I was going through a difficult period in regards to my self-esteem and relationship to my body, and I hate that I'll let myself go through that just to realize some things about myself. Met this guy. We talked for a couple months, but I eventually stopped replying because well, he was obsessively scary. I'm a slow texter and just not a texter in general. So when I didn't reply right away he would send me like 10 follow-up texts every time. He also kept hinting at my living area like hey I happen to be in this area, you wanna hang out if you're nearby? I never told him where I lived and he would call me before work in the morning and right after I got off work. When I was getting creeped out, he started texting non-stop through different numbers and I found out he was texting me through apps the whole time. Then he left a voicemail that said hey, my real name, I haven't heard from you. I want a chance to explain myself on why I haven't been talking to you. Call me back when you have a chance. I never tell anybody my real name BTW, only if I really trust you and have a connection with you. So I was really freaked out. I was afraid of walking by myself for a while in case he found me, and I was scared to text him to stop in case he got upset. But eventually after a month he had enough of it and told me he was done, and he was disappointed that I never replied. Maybe I shouldn't have ghosted him. BTW I don't ever ghost. This is the first time I've ever ghosted. I was just scared. But yeah, maybe I shouldn't have ghosted but damn. It was still a crazy experience. It's been 4 months since then, and I haven't been on any apps or anything since. I need time LMAO. Edit. By real name I mean my legal and cultural name. The name I use on platforms is my nickname that's used by real life friends. Needless to say I was still shook when he said my real name. Haha. Thank you all for showing so much love and support. I've been feeling guilty for ghosting and blaming myself a bit, but you all are the best. Thank you for the affirmation and reminding me that I don't need to put up with the BS. Guy kept making excuses to cancel our dates, including, sorry, went to the strip club. Okay. Still decided to meet up with him one night while feeling lonely. I guess I didn't look enough like a stripper for him because he walked out without saying anything and just sent me a God bless you text as an explanation. What in the actual duck? I didn't quit Tinder despite this. My next date ended up being my husband and father of my child. Started chatting and all was going well, and we arranged to meet at a popular bar of his choosing downtown. I arrive in time, wait for about 20 minutes, and then I text him. He says he's having trouble finding parking, which is understandable considering the location, but still annoying. Wait a while longer and finally he shows up. I had already ordered a drink and was near finishing it. He asks for a sip, and I'm like, yeah sure, it's the last sip anyways. He sits for 5 minutes and says he has to go move his car as he is parked illegally and just wanted to come say hi before moving it and coming back. Like an idiot I believed him. He left and simply never came back. I never felt so humiliated in my life. I by no means catfished him or anything and still have no clue why he came in, sat down, finished my drunk, and then took off. Some guys are just really loose a-holes. Met this guy on Tinder. We bantered a lot over text. He was intelligent, cute, charming. I suggested for our first meetup I could simply come to his apartment to watch a movie / make dinner. He had been sending me pics of him in his living room, telling me things about his roommates, so I naively thought that was an acceptable plan to make. He said he preferred to meet in public, which I respected, since we were strangers to each other after all. Didn't seem peculiar at the time. We met, grabbed dinner, saw a movie. It was a great time. I felt extremely attracted to him, and it seemed to go both ways. We had messed around a bit, so I suggested we go back to his place. He said it was late, and he needed to go to sleep. Fair enough. He said he'd love to see me again soon, and we parted ways for the night. We messaged a bit back and forth for a day or so afterward, but pretty immediately he started finding excuses not to FaceTime or message. Always busy. When he finally stopped responding I was hurt, but such is Tinder unfortunately. A few months passed, and I receive a message from a woman on Facebook Messenger. She explained that her husband had admitted to cheating on her with multiple women, and that I had been named. She was extremely civil and just wanted to get the story straight on what had happened between us. Fact check is line A. I told her what had happened. She apologized for my involvement and we never spoke again. Her profile picture was of her and the guy I had gone on that one date with. Her in a wedding dress and him in a tux. A super adorable picture, if it wasn't for the situation at hand. I was heartbroken for her and strangely ashamed to have been involved, even though I knew it wasn't really my fault. No wonder he didn't want to go back to his place. Peace out Tinder. The disrespect in general. I had a lot of great dates, but the occasional nastiness ultimately deterred me. Once I made plans to meet up at a wine bar with a dude. We were chatting the night before the date and a few hours beforehand. As I was getting ready for the date, I checked our conversation to double check the name of the wine bar so I could plug it into my GPS and found he deleted me. Another guy completely stood me up. Told me he was on his way but never showed up. I've had better luck with Hinge and Bumble. Not Tinder, but Lavu. Basically the same thing I guess. He originally wanted to meet up by a romantic bench somewhere private, which I guess was already a red flag. We met downtown. He said that he was 5'11", was 5'9" at best, and he's not athletic either, but an extremely skinny shaggy type guy. Okay, I thought, doesn't matter. I tried to make some small talk and get some information out of him, since this was a date. Turned out that we were polar opposites in terms of interests. Doesn't matter, I thought. Maybe it gets better once we are in the restaurant. It did not get better. We kinda sat there awkwardly, that guy staring at the ads on a projector behind me. I tried to get a conversation going, but he always answered really quickly, without really saying much. This went on for like 30 minutes. Then he said the faithful words that made me realize that I gotta get out. Wow, this chair is really wobbly. Oh hey, they are showing the same salad app for the 4th time since we got here. I signaled to a waiter that we'd like to pay. I just wanted to go home. Doesn't matter, I got another cute guy with a beard lined up. He's gonna be better. My date and I went up to the subway station. I hugged him quickly and got away as quickly as possible. He texted me the next day saying how he enjoyed the date. I was honest and said it wouldn't work out. He was pretty accepting of it. Then I texted that bearded guy, set up a date with him. Prepared for it, just under an hour before the date, already got my eyeliner on, and I receive a PP from him with the caption I hope you're excited for it after dinner. Then I deleted the app and told myself to never do online dating again. Every guy on there was posting with fish or with guns, or they had a caption which made it clear they only wanted to hook up, which I was not there for. I downloaded it twice and deleted it within 2 days each time, because I just don't think I can find someone I actually would enjoy dating on there. I really wish it was better cause it's so hard to find someone post college. Men would constantly initiate and make plans with me and then ghost me on the day. I've even been stood up a few times. I'll never understand that species. It's so baffling to me. Why make plans with someone you don't wanna see?